So the measure phase is understood. Now let us understand about the analyze. We defined the problem. We measured the problem correctly. We know the baseline performance. We also understood the gap in performance. Now, what is the reason for the gap in performance or the root cause? That is what we are going to do in the analyze phase. And typical questions in the toll gate review of analyze phase. Have you identified the source of waste? That is why lean is important. Have you identified the source of risk? That is why FMEA is important. Failure mode and effect analysis is important, or fault tree analysis is important. And third one, source of variation, set of tools. We all know variation is the killer, right? There are always problem can come from three factors. It could be waste, it could be risk, or it could be variation. You should always direct your investigation in all the three directions. Even if you solve the problem, if the risk is going to increase, nobody is going to prefer the solution. Am I right? For example, now the classes are not going on in schools. And now they are starting the class. How many of us are willing to send our children to the school now? They are giving the solution. They are educating our children. But now the risk is more. We are not ready to send our kid to the schools, isn't it? Probably we may prefer what you call the online mode, maybe for another 6 months or another 1 year. I hope all of you agree with me, isn't it? So risk also needs to be understood. It is not offering a solution. What is your solution and what is the risk associated? A solution with the low risk is always preferred. And similarly, solution sometimes may be elimination of waste. Have you identified the potential X factor and the critical X factor? What is this potential X factor and critical X factor? For any problem related to a Y variable, there will be so many X variables. The so many X variables are called the X factor, potential X factor. Is that all the X factors are pulling down your Y? No, very few. Those very few are called critical factor. Imagine you are in a big party hall where there are 500 people, a marriage. The bride's jewelry, 100 sovereigns, somebody has stolen. That's a problem. And now, what are the potential factors here? Police complaint is made and police is now inside the marriage hall. There are 500 people. Do you think the police will investigate all 500 people? No. Isn't it? They will refer to the available information, maybe CCTV camera, and then they'll speak to some important people and will finally suspect only 10 or 20 people. All others, they will collect the data and then they are going to ignore. Same way, you should also do the investigation in the same method. If you simply investigate all 500 people, then resources are not available. How will you rule out or reduce a potential list of X factor to a very few list of critical factor? Your Pareto, weighted Pareto, or some other way of prioritization, right? And then, not only that, once you come to a list of 10, now only 2 out of the 10 are the culprit. Those 2, yes, they are the people who have stolen the gold. That should be proved, isn't it? Then only they can be punished and then jewelry can be recovered. So same way, you have identified the critical factor, you have to prove. That validation procedure is called hypothesis testing. A lot of tests, JET test, t-test, ANOVA, chi-square test. And when and where each test is recommended, you should have an idea. Otherwise, you will end up using a wrong tool in a given problem. That you should not do. When the JET test should be used, you must use the JET test there only. T-test in a particular scenario. ANOVA in some other scenario. Clear. Now, validation is done. Whether the factors are sufficient to produce the result. Is that the culprits are only 2 or more? Is that culprit is only one fellow or a group of people? If it is a group of people, then you have to identify everyone. 3 people, then you have to identify all 3, then only you can recover all 100 sovereign. Same way, the influence of each factor on pulling down your Y. That is why we need regression. Regression can answer this question. Correlation and regression analysis. What is the influence of each factor on my problem? My casting rejection is 20%. Is that all 20% because of the hydrogen content? Or is that all 20% because of the pouring temperature? Is that all 20% because of the pouring velocity? I don't know. You have to find out. Pouring velocity contributes for 5%. Pouring temperature contributes for 10%. The hydrogen content contributes for another 5%. And now you understand the influence. Accordingly, you give the treatment, right? And these are all simple techniques with the right tools. Have you identified new risk? I told you already, FMEA, right? So now let us do a little bit of analysis. I think you should have, by seeing the questions, you might thought analysis is very tough. Am I correct? But analysis is not tough. I'll prove it in another 5 minutes. Y equal to f of x. Y is your result. Y is the problem. Y is the dependent variable. X are the input process parameters, otherwise called the independent variable. Now, Y is a coffee. Imagine you are the quality head for a chain of coffee outlets in India. Now you are responsible for the taste and everything, the quality related to the quality of the coffee. And now tell me, what are the X factors here? Now all of you need to participate.
Decoction level, milk, sugar,
Milk,
water,
sugar, water, decoction,
coffee powder.
Temperature.
Boiling time.
Temperature, boiling time, beauty.
Quality.
Super. These are all the potential X factors. That's all very simple. Potential X factors identified. Now, most of the, I am going to name them X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, and X6. Some 6 factors I have written. And now, majority of the complaints are about the strongness of the coffee. Somebody order a strong coffee, but your chef is not satisfying him. Now tell me, what is the critical factor here?
Decoction.
Beautiful. The coffee powder. The culprit is X2. The critical factor is X2. Very simple. The potential factors you have listed, and now critical factor also you have come to the point. And now for moving to the solution, you must understand some mathematics. What is the relationship between X2 and your capital Y? X2 is the amount of coffee powder. Y is the strongness of the coffee. Now tell me, is that the relationship is positive or negative? Positive means as X increases, Y will increase.
Positive.
Negative means opposite. When I increase one, the other one will decrease. Now the relationship is positive. Positive correlation, you call it positive correlation. If it is positive, when you increase the amount of coffee powder, strongness will improve.
Sure.
At a particular level of strongness is what your customer wants. So at that particular level of strongness, the value of X2, right? The value of X2, you are optimizing. X2 is found to be 12.5 grams per 100 ml of coffee. X2 is fixed to be 12.5 grams per 100 ml of coffee. Whenever a strong coffee is ordered, now what is the solution? X2 equal to 12.5 grams. Now you are maintaining the same level of quality.
Standardization.
Standardization. Now problem is solved. Now what is that you have done? You have listed potential factor. You identified critical factor. Now validation I told. What is validation? You have to prove coffee powder is responsible for the strongness. And now here there is no issue. Your boss will immediately accept. Sir, coffee powder, when I put more, it will become strong. Your boss is going to accept. If your boss doesn't know about coffee, now what will you do? You will prove him. You will put some coffee powder, you will make a coffee, give it to your boss. put some extra coffee powder, prepare the new coffee and give it to your boss again. Now the strongness is increasing. This is called experimentation. This is called what? Experimentation. You are keep on changing the X and noticing the changes in Y. The change in X triggers change in Y. This is called experimentation. If you do the experimentation extensively, that is called design of experiments. If you do the experimentation only to prove X is critical to your Y, that is called hypothesis testing. That is called what? Hypothesis testing. You will do only few runs, 2 or 3 trials only you will do. Within 2 or 3 trials, you will convince your boss pouring temperature is what pulling down your castings in your factory, which they didn't know so far. In coffee, everybody knows, oh, coffee powder, when I reduce the coffee will go light. When I put more coffee, it will become too strong. So the solution is X2 equal to 12.5 grams. Same way, pouring temperature has to be 700 degrees Celsius, 720 degrees Celsius. How do you offer such solution? You must understand whether the factor is critical or not, prove it, and then also understand the relationship. Very good. Now I want a black coffee. I want a customer, most of the customers wants black coffee. Now what is the critical factor?
Milk.
Milk.
No milk. No milk.
No milk. Solution is X1 equal to 0. That's all. Setting a factor at a particular level is called a treatment. The treatment is nothing but the solution. Simple. Assigning a value to your X variable is the solution. You can do it beautifully if you know little bit of stats and maths, right? For coffee, the problems are easier, but in your company, it is going to be little difficult, right? Let me take you to the difficult scenario. Y variable is the compressive strength of the material you are manufacturing. Y variable is the compressive strength of the concrete block. Y variable is the wear rate of the composite material. Y variable is the thermal efficiency of your boiler. Now tell me all the X variable one by one. Now it is difficult, right? I know it should be difficult. But if you are actually associated with the process, like if you ask your wife about the coffee, she is an expert there. She's going to give you talk to you better than about coffee. Same way, by engaging the subject matter experts, the relevant stakeholders, you can get an idea about the X factors, and then you can identify the critical factor, and then you can validate. Is that clear? Analysis is simple.
Yes.
Listing potential factor, then identifying the critical factor, whether it is one or many. If many means maybe 2 or 3. For all 2 or 3, do some experimentation called hypothesis testing. Prove that is actually pulling down the performance. Then give the solution by setting them at the right point. Right. Now analysis phase tool, brainstorming. Right now we had a brainstorming with the coffee. All of you helped me. Same way, YY analysis. You can peel away the layers of symptoms and you can go to the root cause by asking the question why again and again. Fishbone diagram. You all know, isn't it? You in a brainstorming itself, you do it in a slightly better way. Visualize the input. Visualize the points shared by all the stakeholders. The visualization is in the form of a fish. Then it is a fishbone diagram. Value stream mapping. How the process is flowing, how the material is flowing, how the information is flowing from raw material to finished good, from order to delivery. A single diagram. It may take a month together to create a diagram called value stream mapping. CPOC is the starting point. CPOC is a starting point, but value stream mapping, that will help you to identify all the gaps, the wasteful activities, the sources of variation, the sources of risk. Everything can be understood if you create a value stream mapping. FMEA, failure mode effect analysis, the risk assessment, Pareto, hypothesis testing, correlation and regression. How good your mathematical model is, how do you know? These tools are going to let you understand. R square, adjusted R square. Suppose for a straight line equation, You have framed a curved equation. Now your model is a wrong fit. That will reflect in adjusted R square, predicted R square, and R square value. You can easily correct yourself. See, everybody is going to do a mistake. When you use the software also, software garbage in, garbage out. You give a wrong instruction, software will also go wrong. But you can correct it easily if you know the basics. Again, ask the same software to do the analysis again. But instead of using a linear model, ask the software to do a quadratic model. That's all. Now your model is great. Now your solution is beautiful. So what is that you are doing in the analyze phase? There are list of potential cost factor, but our interest is identifying the validated root causes. It may be one or sometimes multiple, right? Clear? Analysis is easier.